Okay, hey guys, so video take 2. I did one yesterday, but for some reason it's not wanting to load right. So I did it with this fabric. You guys seen it in the pictures. Today I'm going to be doing this one that's for the bunkhouse in our trailer. Hopefully it'll work out a little better. So here we go. First I'm going to start with your tools that you're going to need. Because it's a no-sew project, you're going to need your staple gun. I have a heavy-duty staple gun. You could use an electric one, whatever. Staples. The thickness I'm using is a 1/4 inch thick, a 1/4 inch size, and by 6 millimeter. I don't know. Because there's a lot of staples. A staple puller. And if you don't have a staple puller, you can use a flathead screwdriver and a pair of pliers to pull all your staples out. Just stick it under. I like to use that for the corner ones where the staple puller won't reach really well. Scissors, and then of course your fabric. And then an iron to iron your fabric because you don't want any wrinkles or things like that. So I started to pull all the staples before the video just because it's a tedious project, but I left a few in so you guys can kind of see. You'll just push this under, pull it out, and then you could just grab your staple puller or your pliers and pull the staples out. That's a pretty simple process. The staple puller is really handy because if you use the flathead and the pliers, it kind of hurts the hands after a while. So once all the staples are taken out, you'll just peel the fabric off of your board. So it'll look like this. This is like foam to give it a little padding. There's a little rip in this, but I could just reuse it. If it's really in bad shape, you could peel all that off and add new foam. Okay, so. Oh, and pay attention to the way you take the way the fabric's folded when you take it off. Just so when you're doing your folds with your new fabric, you kind of are aware of how you want it to be folded. I mean, you'll kind of get the idea as you go. But this is the fabric I'm using for my daughter's Valance. It's from Hobby Lobby. This is what she chose. So once you have it all taken off, that's pretty simple. You'll lay out your fabric that you have. Oh, and save the other piece. If you've never done a reupholstery before, save the other piece and you can use it as a template or a guide for your new piece of fabric where you're gonna place your cuts, kind of things like that. That's really helpful. So you can set it down like that, measure. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact measurements, but close enough. And then just take your scissors, and then you can make little snips like where the original ones were. For your staples, I had some mishaps yesterday. I didn't have the right size staples. So you want to make sure that you have the right size. I went and grabbed a 1/4 inch because you don't want the staples popping through your wood. I also have 5/16 that if you have thicker wood that was used on your Valance board, you could probably get away with those, but a 1/4 inch seems like it's going to be the best for mine. So now you could take the other piece off. Okay. And then you want to lay it flat this way. And just line it up and make sure, I hope you guys can see this well, make sure that the fabric is to go all the way over on both sides nicely where you have it centered here. Okay, and I iron my piece beforehand. Just makes it easier. Start at the bottom. That's going to be your best bet for when you do your fold. Or you could even do your fold first on this side. If you want the fold to be on the top, however you want it to be. I'm going to start mine at the bottom. Actually, you know what? Let's do the top. And we'll just put one staple right in the center here, just to hold it in place. And you want to pull tight, but not too tight. Grab your staple gun. Put in place. Okay, that kind of just holds the fabric in place for the rest of the project. Okay, let me zoom in here while I do a corner for you guys. Okay, we'll start with this corner. I hope you guys can see. So I'm going to push this down into the center, and you want to make sure that you check all of your sides so it doesn't end up with a wrinkle in the front. Push this down. It's going to fold over itself, but that's going to be, as long as it's a pretty fold, it won't look so bad. Okay, so I'm going to put another staple over here. Hold that down there. You guys could see that. Turn it this way for you. Okay. You probably want to use something other than your ironing board to do it on, so it's a little more sturdy and you have a little more solid space. So now you kind of want to push this fabric in. I don't know, you guys can't see me. Push the fabric in on the center and pull it tight on the back. Okay, so now this piece of fabric is going to have to be folded because this is the side. So you want to take this piece and pull it towards your board. So it just creates a nice little fold like this right on the board. And then you'll pull this all tight here, and then inside again, hold it tight with your thumb and your index finger. Place another staple in there. Make sure it's all straight, and then you could place, because it's hard to press this staple gun, another staple there. Okay, so now it looks like that. Nice and folded, and it has a nice fold. I think you guys could see that well. Okay, so now we can pull this tight. Pull this tight all the way around. And if you want to do the other corner, you can, or you could just work your way that way. I don't think it matters. I've done it both ways. Pull all this tight as you go. Just make sure you keep pulling tight just so you don't get any wrinkles in there. Push this in. You guys can see that. You're going to have to play with it a little, kind of get the fold how you want it. And then get your staple gun again. A lot of staples, just to make sure you have it all in place. okay. And then pull tight. And then again with this fold, pull this out. And then create your fold up here again. Kind of make sure you're pulling tight at the same time because you don't want any wrinkles in your fabric. That would look kind of funny. I pull this tight here. Okay, some more staples. I'm hoping you guys could see this well. There we go. Creating this fold is the fun part. Just kind of want to pull it tight all the way around and then fold this over here. Okay, I'm adding some more staples to this backboard in a few spots just to hold it in place. Sorry about that. I'm a little close to the camera there. Okay, then flip this back on this side and pull tight. It's really not that difficult. Once you get started, you'll kind of see. Pull tight is probably your most important step of it all. Make sure that you have everything lined up straight so you don't end up with any wrinkles. Okay, now you can pull this tight and you can start this process. I like to have a little extra fabric, just something to hold on to, so you don't want to cut too small of a piece. And you put a staple in, pull it tight, put a staple in, and then fold it in half. That's kind of what I do. Staple, pull tight, and there you go. So that's what y'all just keep doing, is keep pulling tight. Okay, this is the part that you might end up with another wrinkle, so you don't want to. This corner again, you could trim some of this off. Could just trim that off, and then make sure you end up with a good tight spot. Alright, now this corner. Okay, so I put a staple in here. I don't know if you guys can see that in that corner. So now you just want to look at the front and make sure it looks alright. There's a little fold, but I think it looks alright. So you fold this excess now, still pulling tight. That is a staple in there. just to hold it in place there. Okay, let's keep going this way. Staple, staple. This is just the longest part is putting all the staples in. Okay. You could cut off all these excess pieces if you want to after. Okay, now this corner here. Make it nice and pretty little fold there. You don't need a lot of experience to do this. It's pretty easy, like I said. I know it kind of seems like it's going to be a challenge, but once you take the valances off and take all the fabric off, it's pretty simple. Just a lot of pulling and stapling. So we could trim all this excess off here. And then we'll add just extra staples to give it a little more strength so the fabric doesn't pull off. I mean, it shouldn't if you put a lot of staples on there. Okay. Now just a few more staples. Still pulling tight on your other pieces. Pull tight, pull tight. Couple more staples. Oh, look at this. See this little wrinkle I created here? That's alright. Just pull it from the top. You can flip it this way too. Just pull it and add a staple there. It's very forgiving. And then turn it over and ta-da! All done. Very simple, very easy to take the fabric off, put some new fabric on and change it up and give that a good makeover. If you guys like this video or if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And if you want to see the remaining videos, or the upcoming videos that we're going to be doing, probably reupholstery of the couch, painting the living room. We're going to be doing a wood plank wall in the living room. So if you guys want to see those videos, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. And good luck with your future projects.